Hi, thanks for joining us here on City Corner. We've got a lot to talk about. Yes, we're dealing with COVID, a pandemic, and all kinds of other things, but we've got some really good information to help you get through it. Come on back. Hello, I'm Robin Boyce for City Corner. Thank you for joining us this morning. And today we're going to talk about a wonderful organization, the YMCA here in St. Louis, or the Gateway YMCA here in St. Louis, and one in particular branch that is near and dear to my heart. It is now called the Bayer YMCA. And I want to welcome to us in our studios, of course, we're still Zooming, Ms. Benita Carnute, who is a board member of the YMCA. Mr. Rob West, who is director of the Bayer YMCA, Nicole Franklin, who is chair and program committee chair of the YMCA on the board there, and Mr. James Hill, who is the board president of the board of the YMCA. How you all doing?
Oh, we're doing so well. Thank you.
Everybody.
Thanks for having us.
So great to see you all. Yeah, the Y, I tell you, that particular Y is just near and dear to my heart. Takes me way back to Camp River Cliff. I don't know if folks even remember. A lot of folks out there will probably go, oh my God, whoa. But I grew up in that neighborhood, and that was what was considered a safe zone for kids for years. And I'm still so glad to hear that it's moving forward. And then even after having children and raising them and trying to figure out where I'm gonna put my babies for the summertime, it was the Y. And at that time, it was the Page Park YMCA. But it's gone through a lot of metamorphosis, and you all most recently have had this huge, wonderful renovation to the facilities over there. Please tell us a little bit more about it, James, and tell us what it is that you and the board came up with to make sure things are better for the Y over on Page Avenue.
Well, we are a beacon for the community on 5555 Page, and we're glad to serve the people in the community and everything. So I'm glad the leaders on this meeting and Nicole and everything, and our first leader, Rob West, and for all the wonderful things we're doing in the community.
Yeah. Most definitely. Rob, tell us a little bit more about you working there at the Y and some of the innovative things that you all have been able to do. Yes, we are dealing with the COVID situation, and I know you have lots of safety measures set up. I'm a Y member and had to kind of put things on hold a little bit, and I miss getting in there and exercising and working out. But right now, we're dealing with what we call COVID and a pandemic. How has it been for you to just kind of continue to tell people it's safe, helping people to mitigate and do the right things, but then still come in and get a good workout?
Right. Well, we have actually been really some of the front runners in terms of creating a safe environment for not only here, our members here, but we sort of took the lead for the health clubs and fitness centers to be able to provide a safe place, whether it's, making sure our equipment is distant 6 feet, constant cleaning. Some of the new machines that we have in terms of cleaning are state of the art, along with the facility. But we've been very fortunate here at this facility, as well as many others in our Y association, to not have any outbreaks linked back to here. And again, like I said, I think it's a combination of things. We got some safety equipment and things like that, but people are actually being really, really cautious and doing what they need to do and are supposed to do to stay safe. Again, like I said, we have probably right around 4,000 total people here in this facility.
Right.
And looking to grow that even more once we get on the other side of this pandemic.
I tell you, it's just really great that the Y still has that particular branch there. I'm grateful that it's needed in the community. Tell us, Ms. Franklin, a little bit more about a teen program that you all have going on. I understand you all built a new kitchen there, and you've got a tech teen center that's set up. Tell us a little bit more about that in your programming.
Well, there's so much going on. First, we have the kids come in at 6 weeks old to the Early Childhood Education Center. So they could stay with us from 6 weeks on up. But yes, the Teen Tech Center is so exciting. It's very, very new. And the newest sport is esports. So right now there's open play.
Esports meaning?
Oh, yeah. Gaming. It's gaming. It's, oh yeah, we got the the students. I mean, I keep saying students, but students, young teens, anyone in the neighborhood could come over, register at the front desk there, of course, and start playing esports, because we're going to pilot a league soon. And so you want to be all practiced up, because esports is the new thing. But we also have wonderful coding classes, radio classes, podcast classes, a podcast studio, as well as a sewing machine for our young tailors and designers. So lots going on there for sure. And as well as
the Y has truly expanded its outreach then, Benita. The Y and this particular Y and that branch has decided to really look at the community, the demographics, and look at some of the things that that particular group would want to deal with then.
Absolutely. I think with the kitchen, what we are offering are programs for both adults and children. Kids in the Kitchen is a program that works with young people, grade school age, basically to encourage them to understand healthy eating, what they need to know about food and nutrition. And they'll actually take classes, go through recipes, and prepare some small meals. Then there's the adult cooking class, which is Alive and Be Healthy, I think is the title of that program. Okay. And that again is intended to help adults address their lifestyle, because we know that hypertension, we know that diabetes, and coronary artery diseases and heart issues, unfortunately, are prevalent in the African American community. Yes. So by offering these cooking and food related classes, we believe that we are actually going to impact the larger community. In 2019, over 16,000 participants actually came through the branch with memberships. Nearly 6,500 youth and teens were served in that year. So we know that there are people out there. We know that there are health issues that affect those people. We're trying to provide programming that will enable them to live a better life and provide support for their children and the entire family.
It's a family affair, and it's always been that kind of a branch. Like most of them, really, they're just really, really, it's heartwarming to walk into a facility like that and see families running around, or a grandmother trying to get a grandchild to stop running and slow down and that kind of thing. That's heartwarming to see that, and people being healthy and taking care of themselves. Rob, tell us a little bit more about how important this kind of a facility is for the community.
Well, it has actually been a staple since 1912.
It's 1912.
Since 1912, yeah. The original, actually the fifth YMCA built for Blacks. It was called the Afro-American YMCA, and it has evolved from Page Park to Monsanto to now Bayer, to actually, again, like I said, to this facility. 1981, I think, was when Monsanto actually made a $1.5 million contribution for here. And recently a $2.5 million contribution, 1.5 from Bayer and 1 million from an anonymous donor, to make this new renovation for this facility. So, you know, again, I would say through some of the programs that Ms. Nicole mentioned, from the cradle to the grave is what we say. 6 weeks old, you can start. And we had an instructor up until last year who was 99 years old, actually teaching class. Absolutely. Aww. So that is the goal, always has been our goal, to be here for this community and make sure that we adjust based on what the needs are for the community that we serve. And unashamedly, 98% of our membership is Black. And we stand on that. And again, like I said, wouldn't change it for the world.
Right. Well, this is a community, of course, James, that has over the years, it was not always a Black community in that area. I saw it because way back in the day, in the olden days when I moved over there, it was an integrated community, and the Y was there. But I didn't know it was 1912. That's some good history. I had no idea about that. But then you had a lot more African Americans moving into the community, and then became more and more a great meeting place. James, is this the kind of beacon that you would love to see keep going, make it a safe place for folks in the community so that they know for sure this is somewhere they can come and be safe? James.
Yes. Right now we're in the middle of our annual campaign, which we set a goal for $85,000. The reason why we set the goal at $85,000 is due to the fact that we want to make sure that anyone who lives in the community who cannot afford a membership, that with the annual campaign funds, that you always welcome to come and use the facilities. So we got different scholarship programs. We got a $5 swim lessons. So like I say, we trying to make sure we stay in the community and be open to the community, no matter what your income level is.
That's what I really liked about the Y. Back in the day, when I was raising the babies, sometimes I just didn't have that tuition money, but then a counselor would call from say, hey, Miss Boyce, we can help you out. In fact, we can come pick your kids up. And that was just, I couldn't believe it. I mean, I had to go to work. I had to take care of my babies. And it was a safe, good place for me to make sure the kids were okay, that they were taken care of, and that the things that they could receive from there could really blossom them into the adults that they are today. So are those some of the things that you want to continue to teach, Nicole, for our young people who are there, making them understand what it is to be a good woman, what it is to be a good man and a good citizen in our community?
Absolutely. And then we have a very large senior population. So that intermingling of the youth and the seniors is huge, especially in this community. I mean, because it is about family, which is great. And I want to again stress those $5 swim lessons. Those are awesome. And
$5 swim lessons? Tell us about that.
$5 for the kids.
Yes.
For the kids, the people have to be members, folks have to be members to take advantage of the $5 lessons?
Yes, well, Rob can expand on that.
Yeah, so we have two. So if you are a member, it's $5. If you're a non-member, it's $10. So, and that's to encourage you to become a member. But I also want to jump in on James mentioned the 85,000 as the financial. So what we're doing for the annual campaign, we actually give away about $120,000. So we raise a portion of what we give away. And that's the criticalness, the importance of us reaching that annual campaign goal. So we can make sure that we do not refuse anybody due to inability to pay. And this is a portion of us making sure that that's not only some junk that we say, but a reality for those people in this community who need us.
You actually are matching then or helping out individuals who need the help, who probably need somewhere for their children to go, or there may be a senior citizen that may need to come and test the place out and see if they want to come in or not and check it out, or may not be able to afford to join a Y. But you all are giving folks an opportunity to have no excuses to come in and work out and keep the weight down, right?
Well, the seniors were the first ones back. I mean, the phone calls were made, and that was that interpersonal communication, you know, that the Y staff has with the seniors. And they came back, got into those Zoom classes, had their mask on, and they were rolling. So really, really great.
I love senior citizens. We're the best.
You know what, Robin, I would add to the comment about our fundraising, our annual campaign. This year it's going to be a little different. It won't, in fact, be an event that you go to. It's a silent auction. And so we're going to need everyone to be aware and alert that the silent auction goes up. I believe it's February 13th. Help me,
February
Jane.
13th?
February 13th. Am I right?
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that information from you, and we're going to put it on our website along with the program. And I want you all to come back and tell us more about some of the great activities that you have going on over at the Bayer YMCA. Thank you all for coming on and talking with us. Stay safe, and we will see you the next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back in just a moment.
many reasons to love St. Louis, you can't pick just one.
What I love about St. Louis is the 79 unique neighborhoods and 108 beautiful city parks, including Forest Park, which is actually larger than Central Park in New York, and the gorgeous Tower Grove Park right here.
And there's always something new to experience, no matter the time of day or the season. So come and experience St. Louis.
Hi, I'm Robin Boyce with City Corner. Welcome back. And right now I'm going to be talking with a wonderful author who has been an individual that has inspired me in the past as we both struggled as mothers, as single women, just sisters trying to make it happen here in the St. Louis area. And she's written a new book. This child has written several books, but this one was really, really, really good. It's called Overcomer, the Stronger Than the Storm. Stronger Than the Storm, Overcomer. And this book is written by my good friend, Miss Denise Sneed Williams, who is an individual who I think has probably inspired a lot of people here in the St. Louis area. Denise, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, Robin? It's great to see you.
Good. And we're rolling in this pandemic and this COVID thing anyway. This is the first time I've been back in the studio, and it's like since we've been, God is good, and we're gonna keep it moving. But we were talking before the show, you have, how many books have you written? This is like,
No, this is actually the second. I have two waiting for this to move on.
Okay.
This is
you had done.
So the one now you had seen revealed was two different versions.
Okay.
So in that case, it would be the
what
third.
It is. That's what it is. Denise, you have been a motivational speaker, and a mother, a warrior, and now you are a cancer survivor, as they say, or you say cancer overcomer.
Yes, ma'am.
Who has made the decision that you were going to win. Tell us about your journey, and because I see lots of bits and pieces of what you talk with me about in this book that are very interesting, and I've got a couple other questions for you.
Okay, all right. Well, cancer is a very interesting journey. I was taking my last child to school, and everything was fine. And as I said in the book, I had plans. I was going to be buck wild. If you would have known me, Robin, you would have walked right past me. Okay. But that wasn't the case. And the doctor called me and told me that I had breast cancer. I actually had two cancers in one breast. So I had invasive breast cancer and ductal carcinoma. Within 30 days, we had surgery. I had a lumpectomy. And I was asking the doctor, I'm sorry, I just have to be a little coy. And I said, can I have a tummy tuck while you're doing this? And he said,
I heard that.
well, why are you cutting? You may as well. And so he said, if you have a mastectomy. And there's a reason that I'm sharing that. And I said, well, do I have to have a mastectomy? And he said, no. And I said, well, I guess I'm just going to have what 3 babies did. Okay. And we moved on. But I did 30 rounds of radiation after the surgery. Radiation is a horrible thing. And oftentimes people will simply say, or naively say, all you had was radiation. Radiation is not natural. I mean, none of it's natural.
It's not natural, and it's not a good feeling.
Chemical, it's not. And when you have chemo, people can be around you. When you have radiation, you're in a room alone. Everybody who's, participating and healing you, if you will, they're standing on the outside. So I did that. And what was so damaging about that is you're tired. For me, I was exhausted. I was feeling good. And then one day I walked into a store with my daughter and literally hit a wall. But here's the deal. There was no wall. That's how it hit me. And it just slowed me down. And so when I spoke with the doctor about it, he said it will take 5 years for you to recognize yourself. 5 years? And you're going to tell me a little radiation, that's not anything? And you know what it took? 5 years before I started recognizing me, that I had the energy. And so in that, I took Aromacin and Arimidex. One of the drugs, I could not walk. I was in excruciating pain. The other one, I couldn't think. Now imagine how it is for me not to be able to think. And so I spoke with the doctor, and she was kind enough to wean me off the medicine. So I've been seeing a naturopath since then. So I don't take any drugs now. Listen, I'm not suggesting anybody do what I did.
No, you're not
I did mine with
advocating
prayer and
anything.
supplication
Right.
and fasting.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying that. But what I'm
Right.
saying is that's how I decided to manage my life. And so I'm on a lot of natural supplements, and I go to the doctor for them to do my blood work, for us to look at things. And I've had a couple of health scares along the way, but God is real good.
God is real. Now, you talk about in the book some antidotes that with reference to cancer and what we put in our bodies.
Yes.
The antidote that you used was putting regular gas in premium car. I mean, that was the perfect analogy. Why would you put regular gas in the car when you know that this car was made to have premium only?
I don't know, but that's what I did. I told you, when we started talking about raising kids, girl, my money was looking funny. And I had a BMW, and I went and put a tank full of regular gas with the expectation that the car do exactly what it did when it had premium in there. And when I got ready to get on the highway and I pushed the accelerator, if that car could talk to me, it was like, girl, I don't know what you're doing. Okay. But this is not what works for me. And now you got to burn this out for me to work the way I'm supposed to, and do it again. It was really like, do it again and see what happens. You know, because a BMW, it will break down. A car will break down if it's mistreated. So I wanted the analogy because people really are investing more in their cars than they are in their lives.
Yes.
And so if your body is a premium body, our bodies were designed to take care of themselves. Everything that God needed for us to be well, he put in the ground or on a tree. So after a while, we'll get to the place that food will be something that we will look forward to before we get to medicine. So that's why I use that analogy, because I wanted I was confused at one point too.
Right. Well, a lot of people, it takes them some time to get to that point. It takes them some time to really understand there's some things that you cannot put into your body until something happens.
That's right.
To make this total change. Now, there was another piece that I read with reference to the geese. Explain that to me. It's all about the mind and the mind connecting with others. Explain that. It was kind of like a community art kind of a passage that I took from it. Explain what it is you're trying to tell the readers.
Okay. Well, what I'm trying to get people to understand, I wrote Overcomer based on my experience. And so I didn't want them to look at, that's with any book. I don't think that you should look at any book. The book is always coming from the writer's perspective, and take that as being the gospel. So at the end of almost every passage, I give you something that I want you to think about. Well, geese, their greatest strength is their synchronicity. So what they do is they look at what is happening before them and around them. And so when they're in flight, if something happens, they don't have to negotiate who's going to be first. There's no competition. They just move in the space because they've already learned from the other one. I'm trying to encourage people to learn from what you see happening around you. You don't have to constantly make your own mistakes. You don't. I mean, you can if you want to, but we get to a certain place that you can look at other people. That's the same thing with geese. Geese look at what the other geese are doing, and then they just move forward with their lives. And that's what I want folks to do. Look at what's happening to other people. And if it went wrong for them, it's going to go wrong for you. If it went right for them, if you do it that way, it might go right for you, but you have to find your own passage. But I can assure you, if it went wrong, it's going to be wrong for you as well. So that was
one of the things that you talked about, of course, were coming from your heart. So you took moments of exactly what you were going through. Yeah. What are you hoping people will pull from some of those really hardcore moments that you were having through your recovery?
I want people to understand that life really is a gift. You know, we hear it, everything is so cliche. You know, it's like people say, God is good all the time, God is good. Well, you know, for me, I take it a little bit further. If good is a C, I don't think that is what God is. I think God is excellent, right? So I want people to take away that we don't have time to play. We really don't. Every day is a graced day, and it's because God decided to do that. And I want you to look at other people's things. I want you to be able to look at what it is that you've experienced and then try to peel it back to see why you experienced, what your input was. You know, we're not all innocent of everything, but I want us to think more with a lot more texture than we do.
Yes.
That's what I really want people to do, is just sit down and start to absorb and be more involved in their decision and in their life.
Some more color into the situation.
Put more color into the situation.
Or just black and white, you know.
And it's not. And it's not. And it might be gray, it might be blue, it might be whatever, because your truth is your truth, whatever you deem that to be, whatever you're comfortable with. But I want people to just start spending a little more time understanding that. Because for me, I will tell you, it took for me to hear, Denise, you have cancer, to get me going. And I don't want people to wait until you get something that I still have 6 doctors that I go to every year. I don't want you to get to that place where you have to have that level of investment for you to understand that life is short, no matter how long you live. I'll be 63 in August, and it is uncertain. And I want us to just get about the business. Yes, ma'am.
You don't look a day over 30. You're looking fab, okay? Just want you to know that now.
Thank you.
Are you holding workshops? Are you going to be doing those kind of things? Because I know you were doing a little bit of that before the cancer.
Yes.
Are you going to be building that back up again and putting on workshops, or are you doing them now through Zoom? And you know what? I need some information on where people can contact you.
Okay. I am starting to build that up again, right?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we just kind of sit back and try to pull it all together before we just get out here. That's the way I operate. I don't want to get out and start doing something that I could not fulfill and to continue. But now I'm ready. Okay.
Where
so
can
I can
people
say that.
reach you at this time?
They can reach me at www.denisesneedwilliams.com.
I love your website. It's so, when you go on it, it's kind of like, I don't know, when you go down to the Four Seasons, for example, and you smell that aroma, that's really beautiful. That's what your website does for me.
Oh, thank you.
No, seriously, it's very spiritual, uplifting, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. It looks like I'm being wrapped up to get on out of here. So
okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna have you back on so we can talk more about feeling good about self and pulling ourselves through this COVID situation and making sure we're going to be fine. So thank you.
We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. I can tell you that.
Yes, we are. We're going to be fine. Pick up Overcomer. You're going to love what she's talking about. She's got some great antidotes, and some of the things in there will crack you up too about Denise, but she's a funny lady. I want to thank you so much for tuning in to City Corner. We'll see you next time here on City Corner.